Welcome back. We're going to join now a live press conference with an update on that Toronto vehicle attack.
A briefing that we've just completed in the last while, that we are very well served and were from the first moment that this became known to the authorities, and that I want to assure people that the city is in safe hands at the moment and that they're continuing with their investigation, and the Deputy Chief will have more to say about that in just a moment. I also want to say that this is a time when this community should come together. These are not the kinds of things that we expect to happen in this city. We hope they don't happen anywhere in the world, but we especially don't expect them to happen in Toronto. But things are as they are, and beyond supporting our first responders as they continue to do their work, and you'll hear more about the task that lies in front of them investigating this terrible tragedy, I hope that we will as a city remind ourselves of the fact that we are admired around the world for being inclusive and for being accepting and understanding and considerate, and that we are united in standing in solidarity, especially with those who have fallen victim to this terrible tragedy today. Now, I have some very practical matters, and I just want to look at my notes to make sure that I don't forget any of these, but I want to convey a number of things to the people of the City of Toronto, especially people in this area. First of all, we're asking people who live here or who work here, please do not come to this area if you're not already here. The police and the other first responders have a lot of work to do on a very complicated investigation, and it just helps with the task they have in front of them if people are not in this area. Secondly, we've asked, and we are asking, that all of the businesses and buildings that are office buildings where people work during the day, that those people would, in an orderly fashion, close those businesses for the remainder of the day and ask people to go home. It is close to the end of the business day for many people in any event, but we're asking if people will close their businesses, and we're asking for those businesses that are on the east side of Yonge Street that they use Doris Avenue for those who are trying to leave by car or on foot, and for those on the west side that they use Beecroft. In other words, we're trying to keep people off Yonge Street near the scene of this tragedy so that the police can continue with their investigation, and so that there's as little chance of any kind of disturbance of the scene of this incident as possible. So we're asking that to be the case. I have already asked that the city government building at Mel Lastman Square be closed for the day, and I think again it was close to the closing time, and so again I'm hoping those people are leaving that building in an orderly fashion. We're asking that people who are coming home to this area please do the same thing. If they can use Beecroft to the west of Yonge Street to get to where they're going, and if they can use Doris to the east, that would be very helpful. We have Toronto Police Service officers, and we have as well people from our Transportation Services Department here to help with the traffic flow so that people can get to where they're going. But obviously people do have to come home, but again, if they don't have to come home for any reason, then again it's going to be easier if they don't come tonight, or if they come at a later hour, so that not everybody is coming here at one time. With respect to public transportation, as people will know, we have had the subway closed at the North York Centre station today, but the trains have been passing through. Passengers are asked to get off at Shepherd, and the trains then go through on to Finch, and people are not able to get on or off at North York Centre, and in fact the trains are empty traveling between those two stops going northbound. We're asking people to take that into account in their travel plans, if possible, to use the York University, Spadina University subway line, or to use other means, because obviously it will be more complicated than normal, because we can't offer shuttle buses on the section of Yonge Street that is closed and would be expected to remain closed for some period of time. I would say to people that I've been advised in the briefings that I've been privy to this afternoon that it is likely there will be several days of disruption going on, because there's a major investigation, obviously, that is going to be taking place here, and I hope that people will be considerate of that and understand that there likely will be disruptions to traffic and to business and to other things in this area of the city. But as part of, I'm sure, pulling together, we will understand that the sacrifices people will have to make in that regard would be reasonable in the context of something as terrible as this that has happened, and that we have to get to the bottom of as quickly and efficiently as possible. Finally, I would say that we are in the process of establishing two hotlines, two response lines for people. The first and most important is for the families of those who are worried about loved ones and are trying to inquire about the well-being of their loved ones. And I don't have the number at this very moment, but they're in the process of being established as we speak, and we'll have that information for people very shortly. And the second one is one that will be established separately, which is for people who can help the police in any way. If people have any information whatsoever about this terrible incident, we're asking that they should contact the police through this number that we will make available to you at the same time as we make the one available for the families and loved ones of those who may have been affected or those who are concerned about that. And so in introducing Deputy Peter Ewan, may I just say once again that it is a time to be as calm as we can be in the city, to understand that our first responders are doing their job, especially our police. I can tell you how incredibly impressed I was at the professionalism and the thoroughness of the people that I saw in action in the room that we've just come from. And I hope people won't forget that spirit of unity and that spirit of solidarity and that sense of calm that we should have as people go about dealing with an awful tragedy. But nonetheless, they'll be dealing with it, I'm sure, very effectively. And on that note, I would ask Deputy Ewan to brief you from his end. And we will not take any questions today because it's just at a stage where it's too early to start into the kinds of things I'm sure you'd want to know about. Deputy?
Good afternoon. My name is Acting Chief Peter Ewan. I'm here to relay some information to you as to what happened today on Yonge Street. Approximately 1:30 this afternoon, Toronto Police received a number of calls from citizens indicating a vehicle was driving on Yonge Street and striking a number of pedestrians between Finch Avenue and Shepherd Avenue. At this time, what is known to us is we have located that vehicle. The driver is in custody right now, and he's been investigated to the events that took place this afternoon. I also want to offer my condolences to the families and the victims of this tragic event that took place. We can confirm for you tonight, right now, we have 9 people that are dead, 16 that are injured. Toronto Police Service has mobilized all available resources, and I can assure the public all our available resources have been brought in to address this tragic situation and to investigate this situation. And I also want to assure the public, the rest of the city, are adequately policed by our other resources. As the mayor said earlier, we will be establishing 2 hotlines. One is for victims and families to call for the loved ones. The other one is for, more importantly, for witnesses to call in, because this is going to be a complex investigation. Toronto Police Service will be here for a number of days to shut down a busy stretch of Toronto, but this what is required, because this is going to be a long investigation with multiple witnesses, with a lot of surveillance cameras, and namely, at 1:30 this afternoon, there were a lot of pedestrians out enjoying, a lot of witnesses enjoying the sunny afternoon. So we're urging anyone that saw anything, please call Crime Stoppers or call Toronto Police Service and let us know. Those 2 hotlines numbers will be published very shortly on our website, through our social media, our Twitter. So please stay tuned. The chief is on his way back to Toronto. He will be addressing the media later on tonight. So there will be more information to follow later on tonight. At this stage, I ask the City of Toronto pray for our victims and also to assist the Toronto Police Service in bringing this matter to a successful conclusion. As I stated earlier, we have 1 person in custody and the investigation is ongoing. That's all I'm prepared to say right now. Thank you.
We've just been listening there to an update from Toronto, and we learned that this attack, worse than we imagined. Police confirming 9 people killed, some 16 people injured. They also confirm that the suspect has been arrested and the vehicle that he used in this attack has been confiscated. But again, the headline there, 9 dead, 16 injured in this incident in Toronto. We're going to continue to follow that. Please stay with us.